Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kerry and I love all things beauty and makeup related. I'm excited because I collect a lot of Melt eyeshadow palettes. I do have quite a number in my collection now and I've just picked up their newest palette, so I think we need to dive in. So the new palette from Melt is called ELECTRIP. It took a little while to get to me, actually quite a long time, because I did order this from the Melt website and I didn't order it at launch, so it's not super duper brand new in the scheme of things right now because, I mean, makeup is being released all the time. But I want to play with this, see my thoughts on it, see if it's a similar formula and thing to what I'm used to from Melt. I like it when they do packaging in this shape. This makes me very happy. I like the theming of ELECTRIP. The colour story inside, I wouldn't have said this colour story is ELECTRIP. There's not like neon tones or what you'd imagine from like the word ELECTRIP. I just feel like it's very, very tame for that word. But having said that, I'm not mad at the colour story. I actually think it's quite pretty and we're going to see what it's like on my eyeballs. I'm going to do two looks, I think. I want to do more of a cool tone look and then more of a warm tone look, just so I get a good feel for the palette and yeah, just have a good time putting some makeup on my face. So let's get into the close-ups and the swatches.
I want to be there and baby dance the night away. I let my head down if I want. Don't you just get tired chasing fame and being pretty all the time? Doesn't sound like fun. You can do better. Let me show you what a good time looks like. You can do better, so much better. I don't fit into your box. Beauty queens without no flaws. You can do better. I dare you to be wilder.
I am just priming with my Natasha Denona eyeshadow base, and as always I will have everything that I'm wearing in today's video linked in the description box for you in case you are interested. Okay, I'm feeling the blues today, as you can tell by my background and my cardigan. We're going to be using some of these blues because they look delicious. Now the deepest shade in this is, what is this called? Reefer? And it is a brown, which makes me a little bit sad because brown isn't my favourite colour of eyeshadow to use, but I'm probably going to use this to deepen up. Definitely want to use, how do you say this? Suedo? Is the P silent? I'm not sure, but I'm going to be using this blue, and maybe one of the blue shimmers, maybe even the green shimmer, who knows at this point. So I'm going to start out with that blue shade that I can't pronounce very well. Ooh, there is a lot of kick up in the pan with that shade, wow. And I'm going to start putting this toward the outer corner and through the crease, I think, she says, with no plan. When do I have a plan? At what point in this little YouTube journey do I have a plan? I think this is the kind of shape I'm going for. Look, it could get a lot more blown out than this the longer that I play with this eyeshadow, but I feel like that is exactly what I'm wanting for now. It's definitely buildable so far. I am going to build that deeper shade up in the outer corner, but I have sort of intensified it just on the outer corner and then wiggled on the edges to blend, and so far it's a nice blue. Then I'm going to take that deep brown shade and just see if we can build this up in the outer corner for some depth and see how they build on top of each other and how they blend together. But I do usually like Melt's matte formula. I do think it is real good. So we're going to see if this is kind of the same. It's actually been a little while since I've used any Melt eyeshadow, so I'm not 100% remembering what the formula was like. Maybe I need to play around with some Melt, so when I come back to you and do my final review after I've used this quite a lot off camera as well, I need to also use some of my older Melt palettes just to get a good feel for whether I think this is similar to what they've done previously. But that is building up really nicely. I'm happy with how that has built, and it seems to be very happy to be on top of that blue. I'm just taking a little bit of that brown onto the lower lash line just to connect it in the outer corner. Does anyone else pull a really funny face when they're doing the lower lash line? Like, I just can't. How can you do it otherwise? Okay, I don't know if this is going to be a mistake, but we're going to go in with a Bang, which is this peachy tone here on the lower lash line. I think it will add just a little bit more interest and something a little bit different. I think the tones together look really nice. Okay, let's dive into some shimmers because I'm so excited for this. I don't know if I want to use the green, which is called Magic Mush. That is delicious. We've got Blue Heaven. Okay, that is Blue Heaven. Galactic Love. Oh, hello. Yeah, I think don't really want to use the shade Far Out because it's more on the neutral side. Let's swatch Saturn. Okay, that seems more of a toppery shade. Let me just... Yeah. And then Head Trip. Huh. Definitely want to use this in the outer corner area, which is Galactic Love. Okay, because I don't know what my plan is, I'm going to start out with Saturn, which is this one here, because it's more of a toppery shade when I was swatching it. And I think I'm going to put that on the inner corner and then see where we go from there. Yeah, that is definitely more of a topper. It's not fully opaque, which, I mean, that's quite nice. It's nice to have another option. Shimmer-wise, it's nice to have a toppery shade as well as some more opaque shimmers, so I'm not mad at that. Does need a little bit built up on that inner corner though, because I don't feel like that's a little bit better. That's more of the intensity that I was hoping for. It's not the lightest and brightest shade for my inner corner though, but I mean, it's nice, it's nice. I think I'm gonna add a little bit of Head Trip, which was the orange, just on that lower lash line on top of that matte orange. That is a beautiful orange shimmer. That is a lot more opaque. Then I'm going to take the light blue, which is called Blue Heaven. Do I spray this? I think I'm going to spray this. And pop this one over the majority of the lid, I think, and then just keep that deeper blue shimmer just to marry up the outer corner with the shimmers. Oh, that's pretty. That's definitely pretty. Although the shimmer is more opaque and metallic-y looking, I definitely think it's not the most special shimmer I've got in my collection, or that type of formula. It is beautiful. I think it's a step up from a traditional shimmer, but I think that's where it sort of stops, if you know what I mean. It goes beautifully with those blue mattes though, I have to say. Then into Galactic Love, that deeper blue, just to tie up the end where the matte meets the shimmer, just so we've got a bit more of a gradient. This was not the look that I was planning when I first sat down to film today. Not that I was planning any look, but I really didn't think I would come out with a combination of sort of a blue and orange look, but I'm not mad at it. I think it looks really nice. These colours together do work really well because they're opposites on the colour wheel. Not so much blending into each other, but more just near each other. They do look spectacular. Okay, I'm really enjoying this. Okay, I think that is more or less it for the eye look, guys. Let me jump off and finish this up and then we'll see how it's all come together. So guys, I am over the moon with this look actually, and it looks very pretty is the word I feel like. That blue and then the depth in the outer corner and then the just subtle blue sparkle on the lid and then that nice pop of orange on the lower lash line. I absolutely love it. Do I think it's ELECTRIP? No. Do I think it's nice? Yes. So far the shades I've played with, I quite like. I do think that inner corner shade isn't as bright. It's not quite as light as I would have personally liked just for my preference, but it is a nice topper shade. That orange looks insanely beautiful. That could have been beautiful all over the lid. I might try and use that in my next look, but the way that this has all come together, I like the fact that the brown built up on the blue beautifully. It didn't give me any issues. There was no patchiness and it blended out beautifully into that blue. I really do like this look. I still think Melt could improve their shimmer formula just going on the shades that I've used today. I do feel like I enjoyed using the matte formula again, but like I say, I will definitely use some of my older melt palettes, as well as continuing to use this one before I give you my final review in another video. But for now, let's dive in to look number 2. So we are into look number 2, and I definitely want to use the other shades that I didn't use in the previous look. I don't know if I want to use this green shimmer as well. I haven't really got a plan. This is the only one that doesn't really speak to me shimmer wise, which is more of a neutrally brown shimmer, which is called Far Out. But I'm thinking, look at this delicious red, this nice peach. And I forgot to mention, I did get a little pack of stickers with this order, and I did also pick up one of the metallic liquid lipsticks. Why didn't I remember this yesterday and remember that I could have actually worn it yesterday? I did have an orangey lip on, but apparently not. This is what it looks like. Of course I had to get the orangey one. I absolutely love anything orange on the lips. Don't usually go for metallics, so this is going to be fun. It's a little bit different. I thought I don't have anything like it in my collection. That is my defence, and it is in the shade Sunburst. So let's pop this on first. I'm just going to go in with a lip liner before I go in with this, because I'm not sure how this is going to behave. Not going to lie, a little bit scared, but we're on this journey together. Oh, that smells nice. That smells really nice. I can't actually place the scent, but I've smelt it before. Do you know what I mean? Wow, okay. That is very bold. Very bold. I absolutely love the packaging of this, and that applied really nicely. It's actually a lot more opaque than I was thinking it was going to be. And actually I think I like it more now it's on, because it's got a bit of a golden yellow sheen. It's not just straight up orange. There is more of a yellowy golden. Is it going to match the eye look I'm going to do? I don't know, but I mean, it's a little bit of fun. Don't have a lot like it in my collection. If you was just going to put on some really big dramatic lashes and go out like this for summer, I think that could be super cute. But let's dive back into the eyeshadow palette. This lip is drying down nicely, and it actually feels quite comfortable. I don't know really what I was expecting, because like I say, I don't really buy a lot of metallic liquid lipsticks. I actually try and actively avoid them, but when I saw it with this palette I couldn't resist. And the fact it's an orange, I mean, and I had my nails done also, and bright orange, I absolutely love orange. It is a stunning zesty shade that just makes me feel better. Cheers you up a bit seeing an orange. Okay, so first I want to go into Strawberry Fields, which is this nice red matte here. We're going to pop this. Should we pop this in the outer corner? Why not? Let's just pack it on to begin with. That is nice. It is going on nicely. Don't 100% know if this feels like the mattes from Melt that I'm used to, but regardless it is still applying really nicely. But they don't feel as, okay, this is going to sound weird, they don't feel as thick as the old matte formula. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's the only way I can describe it. Like, it's still pigmented, it's still going on, and I enjoyed how it went on yesterday and the blending out, but I don't know if I can quite put my finger on it. I like to sort of add a little bit of the kind of mid-tone to deeper shadow just here, just so it kind of pulls the eye up a bit and we're not keeping it just on the lid and directly in the crease. Just a little bit higher on these edges, just to lift the eye shape up a tad. I feel like the red that's in the Myrte, I know I say that wrong, I do apologise. I feel like the red that's in that palette, I think it is actually slightly deeper, but I feel like that's a better red than this one. But I have got a soft spot for that palette. But again, on the edges it's wanting to blend out nicely, there's no patchiness. I'm going to build that deeper shade, which is Refo the dark brown, on top of this, as I did yesterday with the blue. By the way, that blue stained. I double cleanse, and I use good cleansers, and that blue did not want to budge, let me tell you now. So I'm going to have red staining after this, aren't I? I pretty much am. That's okay. Yeah, I definitely feel working with this red, like, it is buildable, I can build it on top of itself, but it's just not as thick and pigmented as the formula I'm used to. Like, working with the red from the other palettes I've got from Mel, it feels a little bit different. Just a tad, like, Yeah, I'm having to build it up. I've blended out the edges and it's sort of removed a bit of the pigment, so I'm just building it back up again. Don't know if I'm really used to that with melt shadows. Okay, let's go in with the peachy shade now called Bang, which is this one here, and I want to pop this toward the inner corner area, just leading to that I've dipped into a shimmer, leading to that red shade. I wish this was a bit more of a vibrant orange, to be honest. Considering the lip we've been given with this collection, it's a little bit sad that it's not as more vibrant. Like, looking at the palette, I still feel like, because the name ELECTRIP, like an electric trip type of, it just brings neons and bright shades and crazy wacky tones to mind. And I think this is a very tame colour story. I think it's beautiful, I just don't think it fits with the name. And I do feel like Melt have become a little bit safe in their colour choices and what they're releasing, apart from the liquid lipsticks. Okay, that's not safe. But when it comes to eyeshadow, I feel like they're erring on the side of caution rather than just being super out there like I feel like a lot of their palettes were before. Not all of them, there were still some sort of neutrally ones, but this was their opportunity with the name ELECTRIP to really go mad and wild and bring something different. So I'm a little bit sad that they didn't do that with this, but those shades are pretty, blending into each other nicely. Okay, let's pop a little bit of that deep brown just in the outer corner before we decide what we're doing on the lower lash line and what's happening with the shimmers. But this did build really nicely on top of, was it blue? Yeah, it was a blue matte I used yesterday. I was quite impressed with how that looked and how it applied. So I'm expecting it to be the same on top of this red. Then on the lower lash line, I'm going to go back into a little bit of the blue, because why not? Why not? Okay, first I'm going to take a little bit of that light blue shimmer again called Blue Heaven, and I'm just going to pop that on top of the blue matte, just leading onto the lower lash line. Then I'm going to go in with that gorgeous green shimmer because I can't not do that, and it's called Magic Mush and it looks beautiful. I think it might actually be my favourite shade out of this palette, and I'm just going to take that on my finger, I think, and just apply that to the lid. Maybe it would be better on a brush and sprayed, but I'm just going to build this up and make it delicious and green. Then I'm going to tap over the edges with the red of that green shimmer. I don't know how I feel about this look. Maybe it'll all come together when I've got lashes on and everything, but I don't know. And for the inner corner, I want to go back into Satin, which was that toppery shade, which is like a peachy colour. Should I spray this? I probably should because it wasn't that opaque yesterday. Yeah, that one's a little bit lacking for me. I mean, it's okay and it's a toppery shade, but I've seen a lot better toppery shades than this. Okay, let me perfect this blending. I'll stick on some lashes, finish up this makeup look, and then we'll come back and see if I actually like it. So guys, here we have finished look number 2, and actually now I've got my half lashes on and I can see the whole thing together. I actually think it looks quite nice. I do actually quite like the colour combination. I will say though that the lip is starting to look patchy. Very, very patchy. It still feels fairly comfortable. It's got a tiny little bit of a tack to it. Like barely anything. And it feels very comfortable, but looking at my lips, I am missing patches here and a little bit here. And I haven't been having a drink or anything like that. I mean, you can't really tell because it's so shiny and metallic-y, so it sort of throws your eye off anyway, so you can't really see unless you get up close. And I stop moving my mouth and talking. But yeah, a little bit patchy, which is a little bit disappointing because it feels so comfortable and it was so very metallic. Like, I love the packaging of this. The scent is really nice. It went on beautifully. Like I say, it feels very, very comfortable. But the longevity, I don't know, like, I'm going to be going and having a coffee. Like, I don't want to have to keep coming back and topping up a liquid lipstick that's supposed to like hang on to your lips. Like, I don't know if that's just a one-off application and that's what happened, because my bottom lip doesn't look as bad as my top lip. So I will definitely be using this a little bit more and giving you a speed review in an upcoming video to let you know if that kept happening. For the actual palette itself, I'm definitely going to be keeping the unicarton it comes in because it looks different to the palette, and I like to do that with Melt because I do collect a lot of Melt palettes. Like I said at the beginning, I love the shape of these palettes. When Melt do them like this, I think it's fantastic. I did order these things with a discount. When these first launched, I don't know if there's like 30% off or something like that on the website. I don't know if I'd have purchased it without a discount. Because as much as I like the colour story inside, and I think it's pretty, it's not what I was expecting from ELECTRIP at all. Is that just me? Do you feel the same about this palette? Like, this doesn't scream vibrant or ELECTRIP in any sort of way, shape or form. But if you're just looking at it as a colour story alone, I think it's beautiful. But I do feel like there's been similar things from Melt like this before, and I do think it's a little bit of a safe colour story. Like, personally, for me, I could have missed out the brown. Obviously, I did use it as a deepening shade, but we could have had any other colour that was a deepening shade. Even a super, super deep blue. I am not really going to get use out of a neutral shimmer. That's just not my thing, personally. I didn't use the orange all over the lid, which I thought I was going to, so I definitely need to play around this palette some more and use that orange shade. I love the blues. I thought they looked beautiful. The green looks pretty. It's not the most spectacular shimmer I've ever used. There's something about the mattes, they just don't feel, they're a little on the thin side compared to Melt's usual formula. But like I said, I'm going to have to go through my Melt palettes, reuse them again. Maybe I'm just misremembering. Do I think it's worth the full price? I would say if you wanted it, wait for a sale or a discount. Like, I'm sure this at some point is going to be coming to Beauty Bay, and Beauty Bay do a lot of discounts throughout the year. So I would say hold off until you can get it on a discount, because I think it's a nice palette. If you was eyeing it up, I definitely think you won't be disappointed. I just don't think you're also going to be blown away. Although if you're just wanting these types of shades and you like this colour story, shop your stash, shop your stash. I'm just going to get this one out. This is Myrte. I can't pronounce it very well. This is the original Myrte before they released it again. Let me just scooch in a bit because I was miles away. But this is the original one, and of course we've got red in here and blue, and I love this colour story, and I just feel like these mattes might be a little bit different. Should I just swatch them on my hand next to each other? The red called Strawberry Fields looks like this. Then I'm going to go into Corazon. Oh my goodness, I cannot pronounce this, from the older palette. Like, they're not going to be exactly the same tone because they're not supposed to be the same red. But I don't know. I don't know. Should we do the blues as well? Where am I going to put these? So I'm doing Suedo from the ELECTRIP palette and Duello from the Myrte palette, which again, different tones. I just want to see how they swatch next to each other. So this one is, what did I say it was called? Suedo? Yeah, no idea how to pronounce that. And this one is Duello. I don't know. I just feel like, even looking at them on my hand, maybe they are a little bit different. I'm definitely going to play around with them and find out for sure, because now I'm on a little investigative journey. But please let me just wipe my hands off before I say goodbye, because honestly, I'm liable to get this absolutely everywhere. Yeah, please do let me know what you think to this palette, what you think to the colour story, matching the name, what you think to the packaging. Like, I think the packaging's beautiful. I like the whole theme, but like matching it to the colour story, yeah, I'd be interested to know what everyone else thinks. I've given you my opinions. Let me know what you think to metallic. Oh my goodness, I'm throwing it. Calm down, Kerry. Let me know what you think to the metallic liquid lipsticks. Are these making a comeback? Did they ever leave your collection? Are you a big fan of these, or do you give them a wide berth? Let me know. I'm actually considering, if someone said, do you want a metallic liquid lipstick? I'd be like, no. I'm actually really enjoying this orange, like I say, just because it's got that more goldeny yellow shine to it. It's just a shame about the patchiness, but again, I will test it. Yeah, this palette's nice. It's definitely usable, it's buildable, it's blendable. is good quality. Do I feel like this is melt quality? I'm not 100% sure. Thank you for sticking around to the very end, guys, and I will link down below my socials, my YouTube membership and my Patreon group if you want to join in and chat with me on a daily basis, and my other dumplings in my group. We have a good laugh, discuss life and a lot of makeup that we want to be purchasing. If you enjoyed this video, then please do give me a thumbs up, and if you like this sort of content, then please do consider subscribing, and hopefully I'll see you in my next video. Bye.